Hamimo, good evening. Welcome to the Travel Futures 2.0, a month long online festival celebrating contemporary travel imaginations and voices hosted by Travel Design Forum. The Travel Design Forum is a community of travel professionals, students, and change makers working to nurture and showcase the extraordinary creativity, knowledge, and cultural intelligence rooted in India's travel communities. TDF is open to all travel professionals and students, regardless of sector. It recognizes that designing travel futures requires a multidisciplinary and transdisciplinary approach, meaning it is not just a space for designers or creative professionals, but a welcoming platform for every profession and specialization that wishes to discuss, contribute, and help design the future of travel communities in India. We aim to harness our own unique ways of working and our limited collaborative resources to build pathways that honor tribal epistemologies, authorship, and dignity. Introducing the speaker, today we have Zeron. Zeron is not just a songwriter, she is a storyteller, a keeper of traditions, and a seeker of new sounds. Growing up in the serene hills of Gangtok, Sikkim, her music is born from a sacred understanding of sound, nature, and culture, woven together with a love for contemporary influences. She sings in three languages: Rongering or Lepcha language, English, and Nepali, connecting with the audience in a deeply heartfelt way. Singing in Lepcha gives her a profound sense of belonging and identity, grounding her music in the traditions of her ancestors. Her songwriting and musical style are a continuous journey of exploration and learning from both the past and the present, yet they are always rooted in a profound understanding of the world. She has been featured in Humming Heart, The Indian Tribal, The Indian Music Diaries, Saval, and Red Indies, among many others. She emerged in the music scene on July 3rd, 2019, with the release of a song Changes on YouTube. The song received positive reviews, with listeners describing it as serene and peaceful. On 31st of March 2020, she released Yatra, a mesmerizing song dedicated to diasporic individuals longing for their homes. With Nepali lyrics and a fusion of modern and traditional lecture instruments, the song resonated with people who found themselves in the music. The accompanying music video beautifully depicted the simplistic yet peaceful life in the hills, complementing the song's essence. On January 2022, she worked on a collaborative project with a fellow lecture artist, Sonom, and released a lecture song, Lavo Zong. Lavo Zong has been thoroughly loved by the people, even with the language barrier. And similarly, towards the end of March 2022, she released another Nepali song called Sapna Haru. Welcome to Tribal Design Forum, Zeron. Before we begin the talk, we would like to play the song Lavo Zong, sung by Zeron.
Yang rigong kalawang sanghala kasatsalat na hamngani Yang rigong kalawang sanghala kasatsalat na hamngani kasasadon rehado yamba kasasad chola
Kesesatu area dosa, kesesasam area dosa, kesesatu area dosa, kesesacin mehado yumba, kesesam adillah.
May I now invite Zeron to kindly say a few words and basically first explain this particular song as well.
Thank you so much, Ripandi, for having me here and the entire team of TDF. That was such a lovely introduction, and also for you to play my songs. Um, the song "Lover Song" is one of the most loved song amongst all my songs, especially in Lepcha. And the song depicts a love in comparison to the moon. And we talk about love, comparing it to the moon, and also talking about all the mystical feelings that arises when you look at nature, and then you compare it with so much love that you have in your heart to give, to receive. So, and the song is also written um, in just 2 days. Actually, we made this song complete in just 2 days, and we had it out for the world to listen to it. Initially, we just wrote it because we just created the song because we wanted to, as a team, me, Sonam, and uh, our producer Chuzong at that time, we wanted to sit down and create a song on a cold winter January. It was right before Namsung, so we all sat down in the terrace and we were trying to think of a song that we could all collaborate together with, and then try to create it. And with we had several other songs that we were trying to come up with tunes, and then melodies, and trying to have to incorporate each other's ideas into it, and slowly, by the end of that night, or by the next day, we could come up with a song. And then it is very much of my song, as much as it is also uh, a big part of, I mean to say, a big part of this song is also of Sonom's and of Chuzong's, for their contribution in it as well. And we together created this, and then the amount of love that it's received throughout these years, it's still like surreal to us, and it's still getting so much love by everybody. I keep getting messages of people having to relate with it, and to, you know, also to love the melodies. Not only just the Lepcha people, but also people out of the community having to um, just be you know vibing, or being relatable to the music. So, and these things are what keeps us getting inspired to make more music, and in our own language as well.
Yeah, that's really nice, Zerong. I mean, like,
Thank you.
the deep-rooted nature that is like seen in this particular song, it can be felt. Like, the very obviously the language, the Rongaring language, it is very much associated with nature. So, like, it can be like felt like by the
Hmm.
listeners and the audience. What I want to like ask is like, do you incorporate like folk narratives or like folk tales in your songs as well? Like in the other songs, like Lover Song is about like nature, but like in the other songs, do you incorporate all those elements, like the folk tales, the folk narratives? And
Yes, so being a lecturer, I think I grew up with a very strong essence of tradition and culture, with my family being active throughout my childhood and even today. So I got to see a very, very open idea of how much of a love we should be giving to our community and our people, especially because we have such old history, rich and also celebrated, and we're very big on music and craft, music, art and craft. So with music, we do incorporate the nature, very much nature essence to the kind of music that we are making as well. Especially in today's generation, I think for us as musicians, it's very important for us to not just create music, but also to give some sort of you know I wouldn't say message, but to also be able to incorporate the identity that is slowly being um, I wouldn't say vanished, but slowly not being talked about a lot. Just so you aren't, because we are so exposed to the outer, the modernization and everything else. So the latest release, lecture release of me and the other artists that I sang along with, King Chim and Sonom, is the song called So. And So means rain in Lepcha, and it is a very so is also one form of incorporating uh, the nature essence to the music that we are making right now, because the lyrics of the song of So very much romanticizes the the way the raindrops are fallen into the roof sheets, or and then after to the leaf and then to the ground. So in a way, it is also talking about the nature and its beautiful creation through our writing and music. So yeah, we are trying to do something that would make us understand that music can also make you feel like home, or so yeah, we do that. Yeah.
yes, so like you, I mean, so you refer to this particular song called So like, I mean, like you're very meticulous about the specific details, right, of nature
Mhm.
also, like how the
Yeah.
rain falls on the roof sheets and all. That's really interesting. So how do you balance, like the traditional way of actually, because whenever we talk about the tribal songs or like, the folk songs and basically music also connected, associated with nature, there's some kind of conventionality and traditionality to that. So, how do you balance the traditional and then the modern musical elements? How do you do that? Because I think you've done
So
it beautifully. So, how do you do it?
yeah, I've been asked this question quite a lot, and it took me quite a while to understand why I do this, but now I can like very confidently say that while growing up, I was very exposed to a lot of different kind of music, and it was not just lepcha music. I was exposed to listening to modern rock, to metal. In fact, my first band was a metal band. Then I did. folk fusion band, and then I listened to a lot of hip hop, a lot of country, R&B, pop, just everything in general. In fact, even today, I listen to a lot of hip hop and a lot of different type of experimental music or anything. So, and then there is a big portion of me loving my traditional music as well, something that I grew up listening to in my household during holidays, or having to listen to very old folk songs and cassetted play music players, and then having to sing along with my uh, family, Anyu or my Yukung or everybody in general. So for me, having to incorporate these two and to be a bridge was something that was experimentative at first, because I mean you never know until you try it. So for me it was at that point was trying to find something, and along with some of my friends and producers, they really helped me try to incorporate these two, because I was a little skeptical about having to try something that I had never tried before, like traditional music, because I thought I was very exposed to, more inclined towards the modern music. But then when I started to incorporate the traditional instruments and the melodies into the modern contemporary music that I uh, was comfortable with, I think I found you know, uh, my kind of music there. So that is how I try to create. And in fact, it's still a very long journey for me to try to keep finding some sort of music and some sort of honesty in music. But yeah, that's how I try to do it.
Okay, like you said, you became the bridge. So was it like kind of challenging to break the barriers and become the bridge? Because, like it's quite tough that way. So,
Yeah, I do understand. Uh, I did feel a certain sense of not uh, being understood by a certain age group of people in our community, because I I do empathize with their want to listen to a very strong folk music, and I've no nothing to say to that, because even if I were to be a certain age, and I would also strictly would want to listen to a certain kind of music, and it comes with age factor, it comes with how strong of a lover of a kind of music you are. uh, it was difficult for me to able to explain to them, but not to the majority of other group of people, uh, because the kind of people who listen to my songs are people who are also open to new ideas with music. And with that, I may also be able to acknowledge younger generations, because for them it is the most difficult to understand the extremely old folk music, because they have been not just exposed with the modern music, but they've only been exposed to that kind of music, and they've never ever heard of something, a music that would come out of a river, or sound of a river, or a sound of a bird. So when I did music, and I did it for the love of my um, you know love of my songwriting, or for the love of my um, experimentative, inquisitive art. But then when people heard it through me, my craft, as in to say the music that I made, it made them also understand that this is also existing in our community. So for me, it was difficult, but it was not very, because the amount of love and acceptance and understanding that I got from the other majority of people really did make me feel like I would want to make more. Yeah, I
you
think,
have
yeah.
suddenly become a bridge, and I'm sure the audience agrees, like the ones who listen to your songs, that you are an inspiration to people who want to like break barriers and then connect the old, the ancient, to the new, to the modern. It's really nice. I mean, it's really inspiring.
Yeah, well, it does come with a certain sense of pressure as well, because not everybody can understand the weight that I'm carrying. Because yeah, I mean, but then yeah, I love it. I love just being able to express my art in such a way that it is accepted by people and it is loved. So yeah.
and somebody has to start it, and then the other, you made
Yeah.
a way, you made a way, and it's really
Ah,
like the people to actually make a way, and then the others will follow. Yeah,
that
but
is such a nice
really
thing to
great.
say.
Seriously. And another thing that I want to like address is, you see, like music is like, like there are studies, case studies that actually tell us and inform us that it is actually healing. Like music actually heals, like even physical ailments and all. And like even in the Bible it's written, like like whenever you're happy, sing a song. So what is music to you personally, and what would you like to tell the audience what music can do to people, like your point?
Um, Music to me is it's it's like I would put it in a way this way. If the world did not have humans in it, but they did want to have an element of representation of each human, I think I would want me to be represented as music. So music for me is very, very profound. For me, it is out of the world. It is something that does not just heal me, but it's also something that would heal every part of me. Or so for me, it's almost as if I would not exist if it was not for music. But I wouldn't say as a person, but it would be meaningless because I have so much in me that I could express through music that I would want to do it for a very, very, very long time. So, music for me is that. Yeah.
So, as you said, music for you is a medium of expression, and it is like who you are. So, what I would like to ask you is like, since it is a way of expression, what other, or who are the other artists that around you, whom you feel is like, expressing what, like the generation today requires? Because see, we are, like we have the Gen Z, we have the millennials, we have the alpha generation, we have the boomers, so we are all living, and then recent, it's like only like within maybe a decade everything has changed. Like there's
Mm.
been globalization, of course, but then again, we are the generation, I believe, we've seen the like what we the life that we had before, and now we are also running, like towards that kind of life that we have got to build. And then
Mhm.
it's like maybe the Gen Z and the alpha generation, they are more, like kind of let's say like they are more equipped to live that life, rather than the millennials, like the
Mhm.
generation that we're living in. So like you said, music is one form of expression. So like what may be the other forms of expression for these people, if they have to live a sane life in this generation?
I think for the coming generation, for what one form of expression would be uh, to be able to do at least one form of art, which could be anything and not just music. I think like if somebody would be good at expressing through paintings, I think I would want them to go first painting and try to express it. um, Actually there are various forms of expression through art, actually not just painting, not just music, but it's also theater. It is also being able to uh, do social work. It is being able to um, I think the other form of art would be writing poetry. So there are other various forms that could in coming generation, because these the people, the the ones that are going to face the world are do not know what's ahead of them in a very long in the long run. So I think a form of art, any form of art that they could adapt or accept or like dwell in, would really help them calm their emotional or expressive side as well. So I think there are various. I think they just have to tap onto something that they are interested in. There are so many other opportunities that will open up for them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really, I mean, like, that's really interesting because obviously we are living in a post-human era, we're living in a post-truth era, and people are, for writing poetry, they are like, well, like, looking up, like, and then like asking AI to help them.
Mm-hmm.
Course, like, so how do you I mean, like, do you think that like like asking help from AI and all of these like
Mm-hmm.
modern whatever, like gadgets and everything, I mean, like, do you think it's like helpful to like people who want to actually produce authentic art? Like, what do you think? Like, do you have any?
Um, Now, so it's all so art has to be honest in the first place. It has to be real. It has to be original.
Mhm.
And if you AI means artificial intelligence, and if you use even 1 ounce of it or a small fraction of it to incorporate in your artwork, which this I'm solely speaking just for on my opinion. If you use that AI tool just a tiny bit as well to that original piece of yours, that special, unique, original piece of yours, that honest piece of yours, I feel like the ratio will not match of it being 100% yours. It will be a small fraction of it will also be contributed by an artificial intelligence, which then depends upon the person who's the value of the art matters, and then they will know that it's not 100% theirs. So I think it's up to the artist if they want to really be 100% original, or they want to compromise on it being 90% original.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, because like I always, even I believe that art should be very original and authentic and
It
honest.
has to be.
Then again, like the AI coming in, and then depending upon those like instruments, let's say, like like now people have, as we say, like it's like 50-50 almost, like everywhere, and it's
Mhm.
like okay, people have normalized it. So, but thank you for saying it very honestly and
Mhm.
boldly on this platform that yeah, be original, be 100% authentic. So thank you for that, Zurong. And now, yeah, seriously, because like it takes guts nowadays to tell these things, on a public
Mhm.
platform, in a public forum, and then you're saying it like it actually like helps people to actually come up with what's real, what's
Yeah, I mean, the tool AI can be used in various other forms as well. But why do you want to use on art, which is like pure? You could use on other things that could help you, and it's very helpful. I must say it is very helpful with other aspects of your life as well. But with art, I'd still suggest people to be 100% original, and that would really bring a lot of difference in the value that you're putting.
Okay, thank you so much for saying this. Thank you so much again. Now coming back to, since again, like let's talk about like tribal communities. So like you see, I mean, through your songs, do you think you're inspiring the tribal communities, and especially not just talking about one community, the communities, the tribal communities in India and abroad? Do you think like your song is reaching to like each and every individual? Like because whenever we talk about tribal, we are talking about certain sections of people who have whose perception is a little different, like, and whose narrative is a bit different than the like the universal, or let's say
Mhm.
the mainland, whether India or the world. So what do you think your songs are reaching to them, like to tribal people?
Um, So I didn't think it was, but I do have like a Spotify for artists, and then fortunately that allows me to look at my graph to how far my song has been uh, reaching, and also how many times or so. That allows me to also see the countries that my song is getting played at, and there is more than 15, 20 countries that are listening to Lepcha music. And that really, really grounds me as an artist, and that really makes me feel as an artist that I'm doing something purposeful or something maybe inspiring for other people. So then our Lepcha music and our language and our culture is getting heard by that many country people, and that really really does move a big part of my art.
On behalf of the lecture community, I'd like to thank you for doing that for us, because yeah, there are people like us. I mean like I have to like, frankly speaking, like I can't even like speak a sentence in wrong. but still, people like you are doing that job, and then like you're encouraging people like us to actually learn the language. And I have started learning the language also.
That's so nice.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's really encouraging, seriously. And I think it's encouraging for the generations or the people who are actually watching this particular session as well today, to actually do something, like even
Mhm.
in the language, because we believe that, oh, this language is spoken in this particular region only. So,
Mhm.
like, since it's not on the world forum, let's not focus on that. Let's focus on something that, gives us a, greater platform or a
Mhm.
broader platform. But then again, this particular, what you are doing, and what, like, you have actually reached, the height that you have reached actually tells people or informs people, that even if you do it, like in a very small, for a small platform, it can be reached, like wherever, if it's honest, if it's true, and if it has to be heard. Right. So thank you again. I mean, like, I'm saying thank you because it's like so encouraging for me. And then another thing that I like to, again, as wrong, like, ask is, like, the India introduction also, while and then while reading about you, you wrote about that particular, the, like, about the immigrants, the ones who were away from home, longing to come home during the COVID period, and basically it was in the Nepali language. What makes you write in other languages as well, write in lyrics or sing in other languages as well? I mean, not just the Lepcha language, but like the English and the Nepali.
So when I started doing music, the first language that I was comfortable in expressing or was communicative, I was very comfortable communicating while growing up was English. It was not even Lepcha, it was not even Nepali, it was English. And my thoughts that were written down, it was more like more easy with English, and it was more relatable with the English words. And then it's the same with Nepali as well. But Nepali, I was not the most comfortable with, but with English, I was the most comfortable with. Um, and I grew up listening to a lot of English music, and it was the easiest to understand, the easiest to feel along with it, to feel the music along with it, to feel the lyrics with. So for me, the language English and Nepali was the easiest that was for my understanding to express, and then was Lepcha at the end, because you know how with Lepcha language it's I if I tell you a fun fact, I learned Lepcha language the last. Yeah,
Okay.
so I learned Lepcha language when I was in class 12, but I grew up listening to Lepcha language. I understood everything. I understood everything, but I did not know how to fluently speak back. So then when I was in my school days, high school, St. Xavier's School, and I was in a hostel where all the auntie who were along with us in the hostel, they were all lepchas. And then I jokingly said that, why don't you guys teach me how to speak in lepcha while I am also lepcha? And that's how I very forcefully and very determinedly tried to speak along with them. And then that's how I learned lepcha language. So then obviously expressing in lepcha language at early on age was difficult. And that is how for me, English and Nepali was always the the front runner for me to represent my emotions. Yeah,
All right. I mean, it's encouraging again, like that you learned, and that, like when you were like really grown up, like 12th standard.
yeah, yeah.
I feel like that's really encouraging again for, again, people like us who are learning seriously. And then I think it's a blessing in disguise. We can listen to you in like English and Nepali and Lepcha. So it's nice, like three languages, right? So so Zurong, like, for now, would you like to like kind of sing a song for us, the audience, and then we can again start with the
Yeah,
other
sure.
question. Yeah.
Um, Let me get my guitar. Just hold on. Ready. Okay, so the song that I will be singing right now is "Lullaby of a Lover." Đâu từng chân mơ bên nỗi cao, bóng trong trên hồ bụi chân lao, mà thân ta hà đô yên bao. 괜찮나 봐요. 오래 괜찮나 봐 뭘까? 不想镜头不显得啊，探高好多眼光，眼前的奔波，我的爱爱都听到，该多的没有个希望，该多的等待痛。嘅心情我嘅心冷潮嘅心情我嘅心冷潮，我的等待我的梦，我的等待我的梦。
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Zeron. Thank you. Again, will you kindly, again explain a little the song?
Yeah, so the song is called Lullaby for Lover, and in Lepcha it means oh sorry, in English it means I mean yeah, in English it means lullaby, sorry. And in Lepcha it mean in Nepali it means like sapna. I mean, it's a lullaby to be sung for a lover. And the song depicts a very, very romantic you know proclamation of love. I think there is a line in this song that says that I thought of everything to give you in this world, gold, silver, stones, diamonds, or just everything in the world, but I could not give you anything as precious as you. So you yourself are a gift to me, or so it's more of a proclamation of love in all the romantic or the wonderful ways in the world. So yeah, Lullaby for Lover
All right.
is about that. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing the song and explaining it to us. Like before I go into my question, there was this. I was just checking the chat box, and then I saw a question from Aditi. So
Okay.
she writes, "Hi Zeron, thank you for very soothing music. My question is, when you write, do you start with melody or lyrics?" That
So the thing is, the 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 way I write my music is very it's very surprising to a lot of singer songwriters, I think, but that's how I do it. I need to listen or feel. I need to get into a zone that I do not have anything pre-written when I'm honestly creating a music. I do not have anything pre-written in my diary, or I just sit down and I try to play some rhythm or a pattern on my guitar, and I think about a feeling or a situation, and then I just very spontaneously write lyrics in my head, and then it comes out of my mouth, and then after the song I think of all these feelings and thoughts, and then I write down my music. So I think it's more so first the feeling, and then the writing, and then the creating of melody, and then the creating of music for me.
I think like I'm going like anti-clockwise, but my question is like
Mhm.
what prompted you to write in the Lepcha language since you're more familiar with the English language and the Nepali language? What made you write in the Lepcha language?
So, like I told you before, it is. I was skeptical at first because I did not want to be. representing any wrong way of representing a certain language. So for me, my friend Chusong, he really helped me to write Lepcha music. In fact, I was not able to write 100% in lecture, and so we used to sit down with a dictionary, and then we used to, like, anybody who's around us, our family member, anybody, or friends, we would just call up, and then, or in person, we would just sit down and try to ask them the translation of a certain sentence or a meaning, and then we used to write it down. Even today, at present, I'm like not 100% able to write uh, the lecture lyrics, or write any form of poetry in lecture, unless it is helped by certain experts, and which is, I mean, good to go, right? Because the feeling is with me, the expression is with me, but the language is taken help from more experts. So that's how
Yeah.
I do it. Yeah.
There's a community behind you, kind of,
Yeah,
no?
yeah, yeah. It's a
That's
full
really
team,
nice.
and that's so beautiful because everybody's involved into making it.
Wow, that's really nice. I mean, and then, you giving that space to somebody to actually, help you to do that is also again another, like I think it's a hallmark because not whenever we are creating art, like, like I don't think we can allow other people to come into our space. Like we are, this is our space, this
Hmm.
is my space. So we don't allow people to come in there. But then again, you doing that, it's again another thing that, that's very encouraging, as again, I like to say, and very interesting also, and then very inspiring also, because now there's this particular idea that you've given us, that somebody else can help us with what we can actually say, and it's like
Yeah,
really,
absolutely. Yeah.
it's really nice, because like obviously art, whenever it's it might be poetry, it might be music, like somebody has already said it, or somebody said it somewhere, and then we align with their feelings, with their emotions. But then again, us creating, and then no, I'm not us, I mean you creating, and then like somebody else helping you with the words, and then sharing your space, that's such a really, really, beautiful, wonderful, and such a, it's like such an inspiring thing, Zeron, seriously. And it's like really lovely, and I wish we could go on having conversations like this,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
yeah, I think Sham Murmu has something. I think I will.
yeah. I see
So
messages.
before we okay, so let me just what does he have to say? Like, Sham, would you like to speak? Like, would you like to say something before we like end the session with Zeron? Like, Sham, would you like to say something? Like, ask her like directly.
Yeah. So first of all, thank you, Zeron. Uh,
Hi.
hi. So your music is, I mean, so soulful. I mean, it touches both the soul and the thoughts. And
Thank you so
I have
much.
been fortunate enough to listen you, I think, in Delhi meetup.
Oh, oh,
Yeah.
nice.
So yeah. So my question to you is, see, when you're working with this traditional instruments, in your case the Lepcha instruments.
Mm-hmm,
So what are the challenges that come across you face? Because many of these instruments, they have the fixed scale. I mean,
mm-hmm.
the notes cannot be changed, and the notes are very
Oh,
limited.
yeah,
So
yeah,
how
yeah.
do
No,
you
I get it.
align, I mean, your music composition, with their range? Do you adapt the composition around the instrument, or do you modify the instrument's role within the song? And the one more question,
Oh,
what
yeah.
should be one careful about when working with the traditional musical instrument?
Okay. Thank you so much for your question, Cham. I think for me and the number of lecture music with traditional instruments that I've worked with, we work with tuning the instruments. And the first we find our comfortable scale or the melody that has been created, and then we tune into the traditional instruments, and that's one challenge that we face, especially also while performing on stage, because we have to have a buffer time to change the traditional instrument scales. So that way is the person who's playing the tungbuk, we call the traditional instrument, one of the traditional instrument tungbuk that is most commonly played. We carry at least one more tungbuk which is on a different scale, so then we try to juggle between them both with different songs, and that is one challenges, but we don't look at look at it as a challenge, because we've done that quite a lot of times, and then, I mean, there's beauty in rawness as well. So So yeah, that's there. And yeah, I forgot the second question that you asked
Right. The
me. Can
second
you?
question about what should one be careful about when working with traditional musical instrument?
With traditional musical instruments, you should be very careful with its whether. So, a lot of traditional instruments are made with wood and other nature-oriented materials. So, you have to be careful with, the hot and extreme hot and cold weather conditions, and also keep playing it and not keep it idle for a very long time. That ways, the music instruments tone might change. So the more you play, the more clarity in the instrument is heard. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Saran. That was a great insight. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So, as I said earlier, like, I mean, if we could go on talking, we would, but then again, we have to stop.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Like, what is the last message that you'd want to give the audience today?
So the last message is keep listening to my music, and also keep your identity and your community and your people close to your heart, no matter how far you've reached in life, no matter how advanced or modernized you've become in your life, no matter uh, no matter you've reached a moon or the other planets in the world. Just be very, very humble and always go back to your roots once in a while to just understand where you come from and understand your reason to be able to be given this gift of life with nature around. And that's it. Yeah. And apart from that, just have a blast in life. Life is a ship, it keeps sailing with highs and low tides. Yeah.
Thank you so much for an important and a lovely message, Zeron. And for the audience, I like to announce that there is an upcoming event, named titled "Too Much Music" featuring Zeron and Fat Krent. It will be it is at Panchvati, right?
Yeah.
Panchvati on the 13th of September from 7 to 9 p.m. So you can actually, kind of go there. And then if you are there around, you can actually visit that particular place. And then you can listen to Zeron live. So, moving forward, I have some important information to share. Tomorrow, the 30th of August, we will have Tanisha coming to share her insights and experiences. We hope to see you same place, same time. We have an exciting ongoing photography contest and upcoming annual TDF bootcamp from October 4th to October 7th at Kerala. And we also have this information for you. There is a TDF membership forms which are available at our website at traveldesignforum.com. Feel free to reach us via email or Instagram for more information. All right. So thank you so much. Thank you for today. I mean, like,
Thank you, Ripandi, for having me and the
but
entire team.
yes, I mean, but I think there is some time. Like, so if the audience wants to ask questions, like, I mean, like, I would want to open the house. If there are any like questions from the
Oh yeah.
audience, like anybody would like to say something because like we still have time, I believe. So, so I made the announcement, but still, okay, okay, all right. So okay, so once again, thank you, Zeron. Would love to have you again, not just on the Travel Design Forum, but elsewhere as well. Like we hope to have you, and then we are all the entire TTF forum. We are very very grateful that you took out the time to be with us today, and thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, the entire team of TDF.
It's a
I'll
pleasure.
see you guys again soon. Take care. Thank you, Ripandi.
Thank you.